Hi everyone, my name is Krish Gupta and I've started this podcast to talk about Manchester United and give my opinion on it. First of all, I'm a big Manchester United fan and I've supported them since I've been watching football. And so I've started this podcast to share my opinions on the club. Today I'll be talking about why why Ole's regime failed and why he got sacked. And I'll also be talking about why the Ralph Rangnick appointment is so exciting and one of the best decisions we've made since the post Sir Alex Ferguson era. So welcome to World of United and let's begin. All right. So first, I would like to start by saying that he shouldn't have gotten the job in the first place. He got appointed as interim manager in December, and Woodward put a statement out that Ole is going to be the manager until June, and then we'll assess our options. Then Ole went on a run, and then he had the magical night in Paris when we beat them 3-1, and everyone was singing Ole at the wheel, and Woodward just signed the contract when we should have actually waited till the summer and assess the options for an actual manager. This was a rush decision as Ole actually didn't have a CV, managerial experience, or anything, and we just gave him the job. And that is again on the board on making one of the thousands of mistakes they've made. But moving on to why he actually failed after getting backed so much and the money and so much money and given so much money by the board. So, reason one for Ole's failure. If you're a Man United fan, you obviously know that Ole had his favorites and he had biases towards some players. Well, I could give you some examples, but you already know. McTominay, Maguire, Fred, Greenwood, Rashford, and the list goes on and on. Last season, Ole overplayed Rashford because of which he got injured. He overplayed Greenwood. A recent example of which I could give you is Maguire had only 1 day of training against Leicester, and he used them instead of which he could use a fully fit Bailly, and it cost us the game. Maguire basically conceded all four of the goals, and we lost the game because of that. And he's ignored so many good players like Telles, Donny, Ahmad, which he could easily rotate and use. But instead, he's only used his favorites and ignored the other players. And this is a reason for his failure he because these favorites of his have sometimes not played well, and this has cost us games and also our fans, and the fans have fallen out with Ole. And furthermore, the players who is not playing have also fallen out with the coaching setup and Ole. Like Donny wants to leave in January, but now Ragnar's coming, so he doesn't want to leave. Bai wants to leave. Uh, then Martial also wants to leave. He's also become a French player. So many players have become French players under Ole because of his favoritism and bias. Now, this is one of the many reasons he got sacked and his failure. But another major reason for for him getting sacked was his coaching setup. On many occasions, he said that he and Mike Phelan did not do the coaching, but instead Karen McKenna and Michael Carrick. Now, these were two coaches who were very inexperienced and they did the coaching, and we could clearly see on the pitch uh, that uh, that we won't coach properly. Like there were gaps between the attackers and the defense. We didn't press properly. One person pressed on one player. There was no proper pressing system. We didn't know what to do with the ball in the opposition half. We didn't know what to do when we didn't have the ball, and we were horrible at set pieces. Like we could not score a goal with set pieces, and we conceded so many goals with set pieces. And Ole relied on these coaches. He said out many times that he has one of the uh, most world class coaching setups ever. And this is also one of the most valid reasons to why he failed. He relied on his coaching setup, and they were very inexperienced, and as was he. So it was all round a very inexperienced coaching setup and the managerial setup, which caused us to not play well on the field. and and it also caused us to not have a style of play, which leads me to my next point. We relied on individual brilliance too much. Well, if you're a Man United fan, you can see a lot that we relied on individual brilliance. We didn't have a style of play. We didn't have anything. We didn't have an identity. We only relied on individual brilliance and grinding out games. We relied on the attackers, Rashford, Greenwood, Bruno, Ronaldo, on producing a moment of brilliance and winning the game. We didn't have patterns of play or passing triangles or anything because the coaches were bad. They didn't know what to do. This is also why it led to Ole's failure. We weren't Because of having such a bad coaching setup, we weren't able to break down teams. Like we were so bad against low tier teams, we couldn't break down teams at all. One example of this is Villarreal. Like we were just playing side to side to side passing. We couldn't break them down at all. We can't play through the lines passing, and this is why the coaching. This is another reason why Ole failed. Like we can't break down teams. We just play side to side and slow tempo. Uh, we played such slow tempo. We couldn't play fast tempo, and this is why the opposition team could get back in their shape, and we couldn't score against them. And this is also on the coaching setup and Ole, which is why they failed. But after Ole got sacked, Michael Carrick came in as caretaker, and he did a very good job. And this is because he got us back to the way we were playing last season, and we were able to grind out results for the three matches, Villarreal, Chelsea, and Arsenal. And we weren't able to do this when Ole was there this season. And Michael Carrick made us do this like we did last season. And that's why he was able to do this. But now he's left because obviously he didn't want to be part of the Ragnick regime. So this is why Ole failed. But I think the last point why Ole failed was all round inexperience. And I think I've already talked about this, but everyone was inexperienced, like Ole, Carrick, McKenna. No one had a CV, no one was experienced in coaching, and I think this is a major reason why they failed because no one knew what to do on the coaching setup, in-game management. Like everyone was talking to anybody, no one had authority over anyone, and it can be a major reason why they failed because no one had authority over anyone, and no and maybe the players also felt that that the coaches were inexperienced, so that this could be a and towards the end of the Ole regime, the players also fell out with the coaches and Ole, and they felt like the coaches weren't good enough. So this is why the Ole regimes failed. But now, moving on to the positivity. Ralph is here, guys. Let's go. So this is very positive news for Manchester United because Ralph Ragnick is the first manager, I think, who's close to the style of Sir Alex Ferguson. Luis Van Gaal, Mourinho, Ole, they've all played defensive, boring football, but Ralph Ragnick actually plays attacking, attractive football, which is all United fans want. And this is what Manchester United want to see. And he's going to be in an interim role for 6 months, and then he's going to go upstairs in a consultancy role for 2 years, where he's going to help John Murtough and Darren Fletcher. And this is what we want. We actually want a football person to help build a football club, to help in signings, in the next manager, in removing the players. And I think this is a massive, massive appointment by Manchester United. It's going to help us a lot. And he's the complete opposite of Ole. And this is a major step in Manchester United's future because he's going to develop players which Ole didn't do, like Rashford, Greenwood. Oh yeah, one point I forgot to mention of Ole. Ole didn't develop players at all. Like Rashford, Greenwood, they were all the same. Uh, Greenwood came through the academy and he's the same. He only cuts in and shoots till now. He hasn't learned how to pass and move, or cross, sometimes. He does the same thing when he came through. And I think this is a major thing where draft will improve. He's going to develop young players like Mason and Marcus. And this is also why this Ralph Ragnick appointment is so exciting, because he's going to develop so many young players. He's also going to use Elanga, Ahmad, Hannibal. I hope so. Like Ole hasn't. And I'm so excited for this appointment because he's actually going to bring an identity back, because we know how he plays, right? He's the godfather of gegen pressing football. He technically made Thomas Tuchel into a coach. He's inspired all the German coaches like Jurgen Klopp, Nagelsmann, and he we know that he's going to play attractive attacking football. So I'm very excited for this appointment, like uh to play attacking attractive football since I don't even know how long. And going into the consultancy role afterwards, and finally having a football person in on the top of the club to help in the signings. And also, I think one point I would like to mention is he's going to be close to the style of Liverpool. And I don't think this is bad, but if you see Liverpool, like he's going to be close to the Klopp style. So Liverpool, they have pressing forwards, they have attacking fullbacks. Like if you see Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold, they're so up forward. Like we haven't had that at Manchester United for so long. Like Shaw and Wan-Bissaka, they're so repressive. They don't attack at all. And like Shaw attacks sometimes, but Wan-Bissaka not at all. And I think this is what Ragnick is going to change. He's gonna make us into a team that's gonna attack, attack, attack. He's gonna have a high line. Maguire and Varane are gonna, when Varane is fit, he's gonna make them stand at the halfway line when we're attacking. And Wan-Bissaka and Shaw are gonna bomb forward, and maybe he chooses Dalot and Telles over Wan-Bissaka and Shaw. Who knows? But it's all about the style and identity, and this is what I like about the Ragnick appointment. That we're actually gonna have a style of play and identity now, and we're gonna develop players, and we're gonna play pressing, attacking football. And that's why I love this Ragnick appointment, and I'm so excited for this. So, yeah, I guess this is where we'll end of today's video. And yeah, also we're playing Crystal Palace today, and I don't know if I'm gonna upload this video today, so I'm very excited for the Palace game, first Ragnick game. So I hope Donny gets a chance because he hasn't really been used for in the Ragnick in Ole's regime. Also, I would like to mention some players that I think might thrive under Ragnick that haven't thrived under Ole, or like some players that might suit Ragnick's what do you call it? Ragnick's style of play. I would say Donny because he plays through the lines. He plays forward football, which is what Ragnick likes. Sancho, he also plays 1-2 football. I would also say I think Fred is actually going to thrive a lot under Ragnick because Fred is very tenacious. He likes to go into the tackle. He likes pressing. So and that is what Ragnick likes. So even though I think that Fred hasn't been that good this season. At the start of the season, he has improved last 2-3 games, and I do think he'll keep improving under Ragnick, and he's going to be a crucial part of Ragnick's team because Ragnick does like to press, and Fred also likes to press a lot. So I do think these are some players that Ragnick might use a lot and might be crucial in part of Ragnick's success. Also, one thing I might point out, who are these reporters who say that Ronaldo can't press and Ronaldo is going to be thrown out of the team? Ragnick's just come out and say that he's going to be a crucial part of his team. So, yeah, Ronaldo is going to be keep playing under Ragnick, and he's gonna keep thriving. I actually think Ronaldo's gonna score more now because we're gonna play attacking football, and he's gonna get more chances under Ragnick because we're gonna play more football, more attacking football, and that's why he's going to get more chances from our creative forwards like Sancho and Bruno, which will cause him to score more. So I actually think he's going to thrive more in the Ragnick system. So yeah, let's see. I'm very excited for this, and yeah, talk to you later, guys, and feel free to like the video, share, comment, and yeah, thank you. Bye.